And to discuss how this tragic memory of the 26th anniversary of the Srebrenica genocide is being commemorated today, I'm joined live from Istanbul by Edhem Ozmik, who's a teaching assistant for political science and international relations at İbn Haldun University in Istanbul. Edhem, thank you for joining us here today on A News. Now, as we've just been reminded, this was a brutal massacre, and so today, especially as it's the anniversary, it will be a sombre time for those who were involved in it or who witnessed it. What kind of events are taking place today to commemorate the memory of this event?
Well, it's been more than a quarter of the century, as you said, but it's important to say that whole world stands with Bosnia. Today, numerous politicians, officials from across the world are joined in Srebrenica, or they joined live, to give their speech to commemorate victims in Srebrenica, to consolidate their families. And I think it's important that the whole civilized world stands with Bosnia and Srebrenica today. Today we had 19 victims who had funeral in Srebrenica Memorial Center, and we are also displaying some movies, such as last movie, Oscar nominee movie for Vadis Aida, in order to remember these victims. We are also having numerous exhibitions in many countries in the world. Also in Turkey, in Istanbul, we are having these exhibitions today. And I think, we are having many activities just to remind the world what happened and to send out our message.
This is very important. It's the first anniversary to take place since the life imprisonment of one of the main perpetrators, Ratko Mladic. Has this changed the mood of commemorations this year?
I cannot say that it did. I don't think so, no, not at all. We are just having promises by, these promises are continuing for years. And Bosnian divided parliament cannot come with the law that would forbid denying of genocide. But the most powerful figure in Bosnia, and that is High Representative of United Nations, he has this power to come up with the law that would forbid this denial of genocide. But he is not doing it. Even after the verdict to Ratko Mladic, the final figure who is responsible for genocide, he still didn't forbid denying of genocide. I don't know why is this, but I think this would be the main factor that would change the mood related to Srebrenica genocide.
Absolutely. Now, as you just said, the Balkans are still deeply divided ethnically and politically. But for the generation born after the conflicts and who are coming of age now, is there any sense of wanting to put the past behind? What kind of generational differences are there in overcoming the past?
I think this is one of the most important questions that someone can ask related to genocide and related to Balkans, because it is about our future. But in order to put past behind, we must start from the truth. We cannot start from the lies. We must recognize crimes that are committed. But unfortunately, I can say that youth is raised on the hate and ignorance. The best example of this can be Mayor of Banja Luka. He is 27 years old politician, young man, who is supported by young people who voted for him, and he is denying genocide. He is one of the leaders in denying genocide. We were expecting from him as some hope who will recognize this genocide, these crimes, but he didn't do it. So I cannot say that right now I have high hopes that are related to youth in the Balkans.
Srebrenica is known as Europe's last genocide and the first since World War II. As we've seen today, the Turkish officials have been sending their message that this mustn't be forgotten. Are you confident, or is there a possibility that Europe's learned the lessons from its failure to prevent further atrocities like the Srebrenica genocide?
I don't think so. I don't like to be negative, but I don't think so that Europe learned its lesson. And the best proof for this is that they are letting politicians to still deny genocide. And they are not imposing any sanctions against them. For example, Milorad Dodik is the leader of Bosnian Serbs and member of Bosnian presidency. You know, he cannot even enter the United States. There are sanctions against him. But in Europe, he is welcomed. And not just that he cannot enter European Union countries, but he is welcome there. You know, they are accepting him. He is having talks with them. And I think, you know, there are other indicators as well. For example, rise of far right in Europe, Islamophobia, treatment of refugees. All these are indicators that Europe is learning very slowly, if any at all.
This is a very worrying sign for the future. Well, thank you for joining us today, Edhem. It's been very